Stay hydrated.
What's up, everybody? The Flying High Podcast. I am Jansen Harris. I'm here with Sean, Nate, and we have a guest on, Ron. How's everybody doing?
Good, man. Good.
Bless, my brother. Bless.
I see everybody's happy. Falcons won 3 out of 4. Look, we were talking about it backstage a little bit. Ron was talking a little bit about it. Nate was talking a little bit about it. Nate, I want to go to you first. I see you got the hat shirt combo. You feel me?
Always.
Making me jealous over here. I'm the only dude without. I need to get my swag up. I'm gonna have to get that Kyle Pitts jersey. But look, let's talk about Calvin Ridley and being a number one. Is he a number one receiver, Nate?
No, he is not. He is a pinnacle number 2. He feeds off of a dynamic individual a la Julio Jones. So we bring in a specimen like Kyle Pitts. Yes, it was going to you're going to have to basically pick your poison, all this and that. You can say whatever you want to say. Calvin Ridley is a staple number 2 until he proved me otherwise. Until then, we are going to be tight end driven. I kind of wish that Hayden Hurst was our number 2. But, hey, the way the game plan is, I don't know what it is. But the way we seeing Kyle Pitts just orchestrate and learn week in and week out, he is demonstrating the reason why he's getting that unicorn label, that once in a generation icon as a tight end / wide receiver. And that's basically just going to push Calvin Ridley to the forefront, or in the back part of the whole roster until he proves otherwise.
Okay. Ron, and thank you for joining us today. Is Calvin Ridley, and you talked about it a little bit, I just want you to elaborate. Calvin Ridley, how do you view him? Is he a number 1 receiver, or is he a number 2 receiver?
I'd say number 2, maybe a number 3 at the most.
I wouldn't go that far, though.
Wait a minute, hear me out, because our other tight end good too. So he'd be the number 2, and Calvin Ridley, he been having some mental problems. So that might push him to the number 3rd wide receiver.
Well, I'm not gonna sit there and say number 3, dog, because I mean at the same time, the reason why I emphasize number 2, because I mean 1 week he could be number 1, but 1 week he's gonna be number 2. But if you got a tight end that's on the verge of averaging 100 yards per game, I mean Calvin Ridley ain't even hitting his numbers on average, a la when we had Julio Jones. So Kyle Pitts is already demonstrating what type of player he's starting to become, and everything is basically formulated for him, because that's where arguably the coaching staff, the reason why we drafted this dude, to make Matt Ryan's job a whole lot easier, and we're starting to see that. Everybody else is just basically second pickings, and that's just the way I see it.
Sean, are we overreacting, or is Calvin really a 1, or is he a 2?
Yeah, I think you're overreacting. I mean, Calvin Ridley's last couple games haven't looked the best. You know, we've seen more drops in the last few games that he's played in. But, I mean, this is a guy still, at the beginning of the season, was still averaging 5 to 6 catches a game, you know, reaching near 100 yards. And, yeah, it happens. That's why I told Travis last year, and he thought I was crazy based on last season. He's right on, like, the mark of being a top 10 receiver, but I don't think he's there yet because he's had disappearances in the 4th quarter or in the second half. So, I mean, I'm not going to say he can't be number 1 receiver anywhere. You know, he can go in the Colts and be number 1 receiver. There's still teams that need receivers, and then Calvin Ridley's still talented enough, you know, to be that number 1 guy. He still had over, I believe, 1,200, 1,300 receiving yards last year. Ranked number 65 best player in the whole NFL in the top 100 players list this past season. So I'm not going to overreact and say these couple games he probably a 3rd option when it's just been a couple games he's at that. You know, it happens. And he's been banged up a little bit, but I still trust Calvin Ridley as being dependable. And, yeah, I understand Nate's, concern, because it's like you don't have a Julio Jones or one of those elite guys, beside you. Now you're getting the number one coverage. Now defenses are recognizing your game and really preparing for you, just like a la Juju Smith-Schuster and AB left. Granted, I always think Calvin Ridley is more talented.
Nice point.
I always think Calvin Ridley is more talented and better than Juju Smith-Schuster, but at the same time, I mean, I think we're just overreacting a couple games because I still think Calvin Ridley, he's shown what he could do with Julio even without him last year for half the year. And, so first couple games or these last couple games, not the best, but at the same time, I think he's definitely still a number one receiver on some other teams and maybe even ours too. So we'll see. Yeah.
And nice look, I'll close with saying this. Calvin Ridley right now, and I think I said it last week's show. Kyle Pitts, look, he's the number one. He's TE1, and he's WR1. He's wide receiver one. There's nothing wrong with that. But Calvin Ridley right now is the second best receiver on this team. But it's still early. It's still early to judge him on the East and West. He's catching the ball, getting tackled. Because just last year or the year before that, what were we saying? He's up next. Once Julio leaves or retires, he's going to be this outstanding receiver. We can't overreact. But from what we're seeing out of Kyle Pitts is trending towards that wide receiver one, tight end one. I don't really consider him a tight end, but again, if you are a Falcons supporter, you're going to look at all the new numbers coming out and say, oh my gosh, this. It's great for the hype. The player focus ratings and all that stuff, which sometimes those ratings are not perfect. But again, if it's for a player that you like, then we spit out those numbers. But Kyle Pitts right now is their number one target, number one option. I think defenses are responding to that too. Defenses are looking and saying, hey, we got to shut Kyle Pitts down. We don't really have to worry about Hayden Hurst. Yeah, I hate to say it, but that's just the truth. Hayden Hurst is just really, I don't know what he's doing, right? It's probably his last year. But Calvin Ridley, they're still showing respect to him. But right now, I don't think he's a one. Let's move on to Matt Ryan, who he's the last 3 out of 4 games. It seems like they're figuring things out a little bit. 10 touchdowns, 1 interception since week 3, over 300 yards.
Man, it's beautiful.
A lot of people are chipping and talking about Ryan. Nate, we'll start with you. Do you view Matt Ryan as a top 10 quarterback?
I've always viewed Matt Ryan as a top 10 quarterback. Even though everybody seen him on the cusp of being, you can sit there and label him elite. Some people say elite, some people say just good. At the same time, most people hate numbers. But as long as you're doing good, what do that account for? Solid is whatever you make it. To me, Matt Ryan has been one of the most consistent quarterbacks on one of the most unsolid teams. If you think about Atlanta Falcons, yes, most people say Julio Jones at one point, but as of right now, you're going to bring up Matt Ryan. He is consistent. He is solid. He is putting up astronomical numbers. So in hindsight, if you want to rate and you just say go numbers or just potential, just how the player is, you're going to have everybody going to sit there and say, got they Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, this and that shit. Mind you, Matt Ryan has been playing solid since week 2. He's been putting up solid numbers. Mind you, Patrick Mahomes been looking like straight trash. So where would you do that? Would you swap him? No, you wouldn't swap him. Just off of potential. But if you want to sit here and just to answer your question, hell yeah, he's a top 10 quarterback. And I'll say this shit till the day he retired.
Okay, Nate says hell yeah. Of course, Jansen. What type of question is that? He's a top 10 quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback, right? Ron, I seen you shaking your head a little bit. I don't know if you're disagreeing. What's your thoughts on Matt Ryan? Is he a top 10 quarterback right now, or is Nate sipping the Kool-Aid too early in the season?
I really think it's too early, but Matt Ryan is playing his best ball right now. Now, I will agree with Nate. He is good, but he's not no top 10, in my opinion.
Okay. Look, before we go to you, Sean, I just want to say this. I think Matt Ryan's playing at a high level. Has he been playing like a top 10 quarterback? I think so. But look at the schedule. To me, okay, you're playing well against the Jets. You're playing well against the Dolphins. You're playing well against some of these bad teams. I get it. It's still positive. I can't sit here and hate. That's why I say he's top 12 right now. But top 10, I need you to keep that same energy against teams like the Panthers, teams like the Cowboys. Once the schedule starts getting hard, Saints. Once the Saints pop up, Tampa Bay again. Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. I'm not hating on him. He's playing well right now. Him and Kyle Pitts, that chemistry is looking good. But I have him in the top 12. He is creeping up on that top 10 list. Sean, we talk about this a lot just on a regular daily basis. That top 10 list changes so much. You feel me? I'm hearing guys say Derek Carr is like number 4 right now. I'm hearing that. People are telling me this. No fabrication at all.
I'm seeing that too, Jens. I'm seeing that too.
So, again, depends what city you live in. Because I hear guys, even Kirk Cousins' name being mentioned in the top 8 to 10 right now. Kirk Cousins.
I think I mentioned Sean say that
Minnesota
too.
people.
I think I seen.
So, Sean,
we'll
Sean finish with you. Is Ryan a top 10 quarterback to you right now?
I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with you. He's teetering towards top 10. If off the top of my head, I'll say Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Still, I got to give him respect. The top 5. It don't have to be necessarily right now. Lamar Jackson's looking really good. The top 5. Russell Wilson, I still got to put in there. Josh Allen. I don't know if I said his name yet. So then we start going to 6. So many other quarterbacks, man. I'm brain farts. Dang. But Kyler Murray. Can't forget about Kyler Murray. 6, 7. Derek Carr, Dak Prescott. I think I'm still going to take him over Dak. I know he probably has a little bit, better weapons, but I still got to put him over Dak. Matt Ryan. So that's about 7 quarterbacks. Arguments can be made with, Justin Herbert as well. You know what I mean? But see, that's where I go to 8 to 12, and that's why I think I might have Matt Ryan. I don't want to stay too long in this particular, question, but I mean, Matt Ryan, is he top 10? I can agree he's top 10 right now. He's, as far as this season so far, top 10 quarterback. Sure, I could say that. And then at the same time, people, you can mention Joe Burrow as well. So Justin Herbert, Burrow, and another quarterback as well. So Matt Ryan's like 11 or 12. So yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree. I think Matt Ryan is in that back end. If he's top 10, he's 10, 11, or 12. You know what I mean? Ryan Tannehill's been stepping up the last 2 weeks. Not saying he's having a better season, but Matt Ryan's floating around that. He's having a good season, just like Nate said. I wasn't surprised Matt Ryan got re-signed because Matt Ryan, I told this to my cousin a couple of days ago. I said, he was quick to say, "Oh, Matt Ryan just he should have been gone 3 years ago." I was like, you know what? As a Falcons fan, a diehard Falcons fan, it's tough because it's like Matt Ryan is always consistent. There's never rumors of him getting benched because first, he's never playing that bad to necessarily get benched, and second, we don't have a backup. Matt Schaub was our backup twice. He was Michael Vick's backup. Then he came back to Atlanta. You know what I mean? And now we got Felipe Franks. You know what I mean? You can make it out what it is. So Matt Ryan, but he's never. I don't feel like he ever warrants it. Like in his big games, like in certain scenarios, yeah. Like why would you throw that ball? Like regression in the red zone, yeah, it's crazy. I wouldn't mind if he left, but at the same time, Matt Ryan's always been consistent when it comes to his stats and things like. He's not an awful quarterback. He's consistent. He's going to put up stats. If you had Matt Ryan, I'll say this for Jansen on the Jets, you'd be like, we can win some games. Is he going to lead them to the playoffs? Nah, not with that roster. But you know what? He's manageable. He can help win some games. If you give him weapons too, yeah, this could be a good team. So Matt Ryan, is he top 10? I say it, yeah, maybe 10.
Okay, Sean.
Appreciate that, y'all.
Let's talk about Jalen Hawkins. He leads the Falcons with 2 interceptions. Nate, let's start with you. What's your thoughts on him? Graded by a lot of people as the Falcons' best player numbers-wise on defense the last couple weeks. He's been making plays, been playing well. What's your thoughts on him? PFF has him ranked number 1 back-to-back weeks. I don't know if that means a lot to you. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, this is probably well.
How do you feel about how he's been playing, Nate?
This is probably the one question that I have to really just think about it, because it's like when I think about the safeties, I like the way they started it off, even though I've always seen Eric Harris and Deron Harmon as like top 3 of your top safeties. And they basically, them two gave our young safeties, Richie Grant and Jalen Hawkins, time to, develop. We all knew coming out of college, Jalen Hawkins was this ball hawk. He demonstrated in college. So just looking at that transition and what he's displaying now, it's no surprising to me. I mean, it was just self-explanatory. I'm loving how he basically, when he gets the opportunity, he takes advantage of it.
Right.
So at the same time, you starting to see all these questions that you're hearing about Richie Grant. And I mean, I know the question is just about Hawkins, but I got to throw in Richie Grant too. You starting to see whenever he gets on the field, he's taking full advantage of every opportunity. We got 2 solid young corner or safeties that's just waiting for their prime opportunity to establish themselves and be known. Hawkins, I can see he's going to always go up.
Mm-hmm.
This boy is hungry, and he want to make a name for himself. And eventually, I can see him becoming our full-time free safety. With Deron Harmon, I wouldn't mind keeping Deron Harmon 1 more year and just letting Eric Harris go. But our safeties, we in good shape, and Hawkins is going to lead the way. Like it's going to go all the way back to when we had, just that good feel-good story when we had Willie Moe. But I think he's going to be a step above Willie Moe. He's going to bring it, despite the hits. But when it comes to turnovers, Hawkins is going to be that ball hawk. I'm loving ever since. Everything that he brings to the table, his attitude, his gameplay, his anticipation, his aggressiveness. Just the way he plays football, I'm loving every aspect. And I hope he continue that trend going forward.
Ron, your thoughts on how Jalen Hawkins has been playing so far this season? 2 interceptions, leads the Falcons in that category. He's making plays.
I like him. I think he needs to be on the field more time. But I like everything he brings to the team and to the game.
Absolutely. Sean, we'll close with you on this. How do you feel Jalen Hawkins is playing? He's made some big plays. Looks like he's playing some disciplined football. Looks like – and I like guys like this, guys who are actually intercepting passes, not just, almost. And then, he's doing it. He's making plays. He wants to be on the field. He's changing field position. He's affecting the game. How do you feel about him, Sean?
Similar towards Nate. I mean, I like his attitude. It's been a while since we really had that from a defensive back position for the Falcons. Brent Grimes was the last one I could really remember. So when he got the interception this past week against Miami, which was a great interception, bad throw by Tua, but he read it. He was hyped. Took off his helmet like, I got the interception. And those, man, is big for the Falcons to get turnovers because we haven't really had a bunch of turnovers like that in the last few years. You know what I mean? So even though that game was close, our defense really helped seal the win because without those turnovers, those are field goals. And those field goals add up to potentially 6 points in those 2 drives. We end up losing the game. So, although our defense kind of looks like a bend but don't break, it's big to get turnovers, man, and, continue to try to put points on the other board potentially, or at the same time at least, dismantle the other team from putting points on the board by creating turnovers. So I like Hawkins. he got an opportunity because of injury, and he's been getting some interceptions. And like you said, man, it's cool to see safeties really pick off the ball and then try to do something with it, not just pick it off and slide. Now I'm trying to take it to the house. Hey, Reed. You know what I mean? So I like Hawkins, man. I like his mentality and stuff, man. So I'm just hoping the best, man. Stay healthy.
Oh yeah,
awesome. Let's get right into Kyle Pitts. Back-to-back 100-yard games. His rating is out this world. Everybody's talking about it, man. He's looking like the generational talent unicorn, however you want to say it. His haters are saying, well, it's a couple games, relax. And his supporters, which is a lot of them out there, are saying, wow, you're seeing glimpses of greatness. The one-hand catch was fantastic. His chemistry with Matt Ryan, it's coming together. Maybe the Falcons will push towards the playoffs. We don't know. We'll see. It's a 3-3 team, a big game against the Panthers. Shoot, maybe Kyle Pitts could do it again. Nate, there's Jamar Chases out there, but do you believe Kyle Pitts can catch him and win the Rookie of the Year?
No. Jamar Chase is on a whole nother level. Well, I can't sit there and say no. I'll take that back. It depends on the supporting cast of Kyle Pitts. Like Kyle Pitts is like, I'm not going to take nothing away from Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, Zacchaeus, Hayden Hurst, Lee Smith, Cordell Patterson. It's up to them if Kyle Pitts is going to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year, because they got to continue to allow him to get one-on-one coverage and basically make it easy for Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, he's a 6'6", runs a 4.4, all this and that. In hindsight, in Madden world, yes, you can sit there and just put it on easy level and just let him rip. You can win all kinds of Rookie of the Years and all this and that. But in the real world, it all comes down to the supporting cast. Everybody else got to basically do their job in order for him to reach the pinnacle that he is capable of reaching.
Okay. Sean, can Kyle Pitts win the Rookie of the Year?
I'm gonna say no, man. I think Jamar Chase is having a monster season. Having over 200 receiving yards again, 8 receptions, a couple of touchdowns last week, or one against Baltimore. He's just balling, man. And I mean, it's refreshing to see a star receiver in Cincinnati. It's refreshing to see a superstar receiver in Cincinnati again. You know what I mean? Got number one and everything, looking good. So I'm gonna say, as of right now, no. Unless Jamar Chase, kind of loosens up as far as stats, and Kyle Pitts having 150 yards a game and a couple touchdowns, 7 receptions throughout the rest of the season. I got Chase, man. I don't see Pitts chasing behind Jamar Chase, pun intended.
Oh, real quick, and plus he got to start doing a lot more in the red zone, like one touchdown. Yeah,
not yet. Got to keep seeing it.
Ron, do you see Kyle Pitts potentially Rookie of the Year? You think that's going to happen?
Yes. I can say because this is why the Panthers defense ranked 23.
Yep.
So they don't got nobody to slow him down.
He gonna ball out, Ron, huh?
He gonna ball out.
Put him back in the race. If he got 4 touchdowns this game, hey.
If he get 4 touchdowns, then
we get 4 touchdowns, we might start thinking about it.
I think he'll get 2 in the game.
Okay.
Look, as good as I think that Kyle Pitts has been recently, I'm going to say this. It's Jamar Chase's Offensive Rookie of the Year, if we're bragging about that, to lose. I mean, the guy got 6 touchdowns, over 700 yards receiving. Right now, it's Jamar Chase by a couple steps. Can Kyle Pitts make it close? Yes. But right now, it's a no-brainer pick, and that's Jamar Chase. He's the guy, in my opinion. Let's move forward, guys. The Panthers, you mentioned it, Ron. We'll start with you on this one. 23rd ranked defense. Do you feel like Russell Gage will take advantage of that defense and put in some work this game?
Yes.
Ooh.
I think he will take full advantage of it.
Okay.
Okay. Shoot. We'll see. I think he'll have a decent game. I think he'll have opportunities to make big plays because there's going to be a lot of single coverage. There's going to be a lot of coverage rolled towards Calvin Ridley and rolled towards Kyle Pitts, obviously, after those two monster games. Sean, Russell Gage, do you see him making some big plays against the Panthers?
Yeah, hopefully, man. You know, we talked about Kyle Pitts having a breakout game. You know, hoping that he has a breakout game soon. He's done that. You know, Calvin really we expect really to have breakout games. When he doesn't, that's when we kind of question. So Russell Gage, I mean, he had a breakout season last year, so it's only fitting for him to have his own game. Have his own stamp. I'm not saying he has to lead in all statistical categories as a receiver, but at the same time, hey. Get about 7 receptions, maybe 95 yards, a touchdown, a spectacular catch because he has some acrobatic catches as well. So I like to see him have a breakout game. I think it would be fitting to see against Carolina because, of course, being division rival, they're going to try to be keen in on Kyle Pitts. This is their first go around against him since the first meeting that we had with the Carolina Panthers this year. And I'm sure they're going to, hey, Stephon Gilmore, let's not forget, he might be playing this week. So I'm sure they're going to put him on Kyle Pitts / Ridley. So, of course, it's going to open up the field for Russell Gage. Hopefully some balls, man. So some receptions, I should say. So, yeah, hopefully
Nate, break down. Okay. Sorry to cut you off, Sean. Nate, break down Russell Gage and what you think he'll do against this Panthers defense.
I'd say 50-50. I mean, it's always – when it comes to our wide receivers, it just depends on everybody else. And I'm going to just say this as a collective group. That's how we're going to see breakout games when it comes to Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, Zacchaeus, Kyle Pitts. Do I see him as a breakout game? Not necessarily for the simple fact I just see it the same thing we've seen against Miami. He's going to do his significant part, his significant role. Do I see him making big plays? Yes, when the time presents itself. But just to have like what consider like a breakout game, 6-7 catches for over 100-some yards. No, I don't see that. I mean, it'd be shocking. It'll surprise me. Not saying that he can't do it, but I just don't see it.
Right.
Okay.
I agree.
To me, there's going to be opportunities, again, like I said earlier, for Gage to make plays, but we'll see if he could do that. Guys, let's go to our game predictions real quickly. I have the Falcons winning a nail-biter 24-21 over the Panthers. It's going to be close. It's going to be dramatic. I think the Falcons advance to 4-3. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this game, by the way. But I think they'll win this game. I'm being positive. Let's start with you, Nate. What's your score and why?
After seeing somewhat of the game this past week they played the Giants, right?
Dolphins.
No.
The Panthers. Yeah, they play the Giants. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, my bad.
It's going to come down to our defense. If our defense can kind of, what type of defense we got, bend but don't break. I'm not too worried about the offense because we do have a nice little game plan. So I'm going to just emphasize the defense in this game because Sam Darnold is starting to come back down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
He got on that high horse when they started off 3-0 but it's like now everything is starting to just settle out. So it's still going to come down to our defense. We got to be tighter. And if we can hopefully not, that's the reason why we let TJ Green go. Because TJ was just playing soft coverage. Despite you playing zone, you still got to be in your areas. So I'm gonna agree with you on that one, Jansen. I was gonna say about 23-21. So I can see us winning by a field goal. It's gonna be a nice little division round, but I can see us winning by a field goal. I'll say 24-21 too. I'll piggyback on that.
Sean, your game prediction for the Falcons and Panthers division rivalry, NFC South. They'll be a close game, blowout. Thoughts?
No, the Falcons always close games every week. You know what I mean? So I think with this one, again, it's a division game. Is it in Carolina? Do we know, or is it in Atlanta?
I'm not for sure. I think it's
Atlanta. Okay, yeah. Atlanta. So I mean, it's gonna be tough, man. But at the same time, I don't think we won a home game yet. Nope, we haven't won a home game. That's funny. So I could see it going 27-20, Atlanta Falcons. I could see the Carolina stealing one too. They've been on a 3-game losing streak. We won in our last 3 out of 4. But at the same time, I mean, I think with the Falcons is, hey, it's going to be a Mike Davis quote unquote homecoming. He had some success last year in Carolina. I think he's going to get more carries this game than he has in the past. And I can see it being more on, a running, more of a balanced attack, not strictly passing. Carolina's defense has been exposed, but at the same time, again, because it's a division game, I don't expect it to be a blowout. I think Sam Darnold's not going to have as bad as a game as he had these last 2 weeks, but I definitely think it's going to be opportunities to get some interceptions and turnovers. So hopefully with Hawkins, like we mentioned him earlier, hey, you can capitalize on that. If you capitalize on Sam Darnold, at least getting a couple interceptions, I don't think there's no reason why our offense can't put points on the board. Continue to carry that momentum with Ridley, hopefully, and Kyle Pitts. So I got it 27-20 ATL.
Ron,
Nice.
We will close with you. We are all on the Falcons. Who are you picking to win this game?
I got Atlanta, and 27-20.
Hey.
Okay. So we're all on Atlanta in a close game. Guys, this was another great episode of the Flying High podcast. Sean, Nate, and Ron, thank you for joining us. And, of course, me, Jansen Harris. We are presented by Your Future Media and the Level 1 Game Room. Travis, we'll see you back on the show next week. You guys have a blessed week.
Nice job, Ron. Nice